Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. I hope you're having a good one. What's good, what's good, what's good? So we're going to start today off with a massive apology to our friend Lex Luthor. He's been with us for a really long time, and I'm going to apologize to this person. Why? He was right. He was right. Arizona signed a bill last night or yesterday that takes unclaimed crypto, right? The same way you have unclaimed, cash, they're allowed to take unclaimed crypto and take 10% of that and stake it so that they can actually get rewards. The difference between the two bills is that obviously you'd be able to come get your money because they're holding it like for like, right? But still, that makes Arizona the second state in the nation to actually have a Bitcoin, or let me rephrase, a crypto reserve bill. Because it means that if you've got NFTs that are unclaimed, if you've got all this stuff that are unclaimed, and they try to reach you for 3 years and you don't actually come claim it, you forgot about it, basically. They get to use that money to make money. Different from the previous bill, but still creates a reserve fund. Go Lex Luthor. And I believe he mentioned Bitcoin Magazine and Bitcoin Horizon in his research. Yeah. Eddie eats crow today. But you want to know what I learned, which is the silver lining. I learned that there might be 2 new resources that I have to consider when I do my own research and invest in myself. Lex Luthor, hat tip to you. What else is going on? So there could be a deal, or basically there is a deal announced between the United States and the UK, a tariff deal. Now, let's keep everything in perspective. Right now, the market is up about $352 points. We should keep this in perspective. We don't have a trading problem with the UK. Straight up. We do not have a problem with the UK, but we're announcing a trade agreement. And what it really says is, yeah, okay. I mean, I was listening to Aaron Ross Sorkin this morning. He was like, yeah, this is not even low-hanging fruit. It's non-existent fruit. Becky Quick was able to say, because I was watching CNBC, Becky Quick was saying, well, listen, and I agree. It's a deal that could set the stage for how other countries can make the deal. Possibly, but again, this was never a problem. We didn't have a trade problem with the UK. That's the problem. So you can't compare the UK to China. There's no comparison there. It does set China up for a little bit less of a hand when they go to the negotiation table this coming Saturday. However, again, this wasn't a trade. There was nothing there. And Chicano says, that's why reading newspaper is helpful to find unclaimed money and properties. That's right. It is. And they produce those lists like all the time. They update those lists all the time. All the time. A lot of all the states do it. UK has nuclear power plants. Okay. For an energy situation. But my issue is that, again, I think we're getting overly hyped about a country that we don't have a problem with. I think we should take a step back and understand what's going on. The market is up wildly right now, over 350. And I'm sitting back and I'm just saying to myself, have a breather. You want to know what else is up? Bitcoin is up. Bitcoin, the last time I checked, was at 99,831. Actually, it's 99,831 right now. So we're toying with 100K for Bitcoin. But I think the difference is I like the UK too. The difference between Bitcoin and the markets is that Bitcoin is a place to store value. The markets is a place to make quick money. And I'm sitting back, try to make quick money or lose quick. The markets are reacting differently. So things are going up. The stock market says, yay. And I'm sitting here and I'm kind of going, I think that the movement on Bitcoin is because the movement on market and Bitcoin is because the market liked what the Fed didn't do. The market liked what the Fed didn't do. And on top of that, what it says is, not only do we like what the Fed didn't do, but everybody else that was calling for the Fed to do something are wrong. Now think about that. So why do you lower rates? Well, to spur the market. So doesn't that spur the market? Here's something else to contemplate. I know people think I'm crazy. So what I think about when I see this, when I see both sides, crypto and traditional finance, stock market and stuff, what I see right now is, had you not, mucked around with the market the way you did, everything would be fine. We still haven't gotten back to where we were. We're close. We're close to being back to where we were before you started talking this tariff nonsense, but we're not there yet. So imagine had you cut these deals without trying to play the tariff game, dropping the markets and then bringing them back. Let me drop the market, let certain people know, because certain people were making trades just before the T word first came out, and even at other stages where the T word was used, T word meaning, not that guy, but tariff, where they were able to buy in at that low point, and then when it went back up, they were able to make money. Now, I'm just wondering, would we have the same impact if the trade wars hadn't started, if we didn't start the fights? Would the markets have, jumped higher on a UK deal? My humble answer, no. A UK deal wouldn't have spurred this. Everybody would have been like, okay. And everybody would have been asking the same question. So what are you doing about China? He picked a fight with everybody, every other country in the world, every single country in the world that we do trade with. That's who we picked a fight with. That's who we picked a fight with. And the markets dropped tremendously. So again, had he not picked those fights, negotiated instead of trying to bully people, would we have gone higher? On a China deal, we would have gone higher. I believe we would have gone higher. But the market was cooling already. It was gently cooling. Instead, you used the T word and we got abrupt drops. So we're at 99. We were over $20,000 less for Bitcoin in this time period. Come on, you can't tell me that doesn't say a lot. Cannot tell me it doesn't say a lot. So when I look at this, I just, like I said, I look at it and I just go, yeah, okay. You got a deal brewing with the UK, a partner, a friend, an ally that we don't have a problem with. Good job. Good job. But again, I want to say thank you to Lex Luthor for being a part of this community, for, educating us. Greatly appreciate it, man. Greatly appreciate it. Again, hat tip to you. What else do we have going on? We've got Arthur Hayes predicting that Bitcoin will hit 150 by the end of 2025. Yeah, that's a possibility. That could happen. That could happen, because I already think that we're going to wind up hitting 120 within quarter two, depending on the news that we could possibly get in June. I think October's another big month. We could see it happen. It depends on how many jobs are lost, right? It depends on, are we going to see a recession if we're not already in one, and how the market is generally doing from here to there. That's going to be the big deal. That one right there is going to be the very big deal. What else do we have going on? Senate Democrats and Republicans are nearing a bipartisan deal on the Genius Act. Now, that could be a good thing. That could be a good thing, because now companies are starting to say, yeah, we like the Genius Act. I think because changes are happening. I think it's still fluid. We'll see what happens when it comes forward, if it comes forward. Now, something that dropped my jaw this morning. What dropped Eddie's jaw this morning? So Robinhood wants to introduce tokenized stocks to to EU users. And to do that, they want to do it obviously via blockchain. That blockchain could be built on Solana or Arbitrum. I would have zero faith in Robinhood if they choose Solana. I'm on the record for that. I am on the record for that. I do not believe that Solana is ready for a primetime gig like that, but it does show that there's at least one institution that's thinking about building on that network, that highly not decentralized, or I'm not going to say it's not decentralized. I'm going to say their decentralization is at best questionable. Okay? And you want to put real world assets on there at that level. I would have zero faith in Robinhood. Do I have a Robinhood account? Yes, I do. Do I have anything in Robinhood that I bought myself? No. Not at all. Not at all. Why did I get it? I was interested. And they were, at the time, I think they were giving stuff away. So I was like, I'll take something for free. But do I have my actual money in there? Nope. And if they move on building this out on Solana, I would be absolutely done with Robinhood. I would be done. Because if I'm Robinhood, I'm going to instead look at a few other technologies that are out there. I'd be looking at Arbitrum. Arbitrum would not be first on the list though. Hedera would be first on have a better chance of being first on the list. Cardano have a better chance of being first on the list. Sui would be another one that I would put ahead of Arbitrum. Is Arbitrum a good platform? Yes. Avalanche would obviously be higher up on that list. But Solana and Arbitrum? Wow. All I can say about that is a huge wow. Yeah, I think that's moving in the wrong direction. But they are considering it. They are considering it. Stripe unveiled a new AI model improving fraud detection to 97%. Improving fraud detection to 97% alongside over 60 product updates, including global payouts. It's a big deal. You have a lot of companies out there that are realizing that the current AI models out there are really good at analyzing data or helping to analyze data. You can run it through a couple of checks. Like I do parallel things, and then I have a third process that will look at those parallel things, contrast, compare, merge, create new. That's what I do. Or that's part of what I do depending on, the given situation. But there's a lot that you can do with AI with regard to looking, analyzing data to see where your health is with regard to your network security. That's big. I like that. Definitely like that. Deloitte forecasts tokenized real estate will hit $4 trillion by the year 2035. That's huge. Now I want you to stop and think about this. So tokenized assets hit 3.7. Where does crypto have to be for that number to happen? Do the math on that. Do the math on that. Life is interesting in the crypto world, and there are places to make money. It'll be a little bit, but as you continue to see not just adoption, but integration of blockchain technology and Web3 technology, it's a big deal. As you know, my company, Rebel Visions Corporation, is a principal member of the Metaverse Standards Forum. We had a meeting last night. There are a lot of cool things going on in the metaverse as well, which is a part of Web3. And guess what? Big conversation about AI. Big conversation about AI. A lot of the projects that we support actually leverage AI to help them do some of the work, but we're also talking about actually looking at AI as its own topic within the Metaverse Standards Forum. Huge, huge. So when I tell you that I'm privy to things that other people are not privy to, yeah. We're learning a lot about how things work. Traditional finance firms like Futu Securities and Vietnam's TCBS are integrating Bitcoin and stablecoins into stock trading platforms. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and stablecoins. What did I say to you yesterday? That's right. It's the GMB3, Chicano. It's the GMB3. Do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. Now, what did I tell you guys about banks? Banks are going to start with Bitcoin and Ethereum. They're going to start with Bitcoin and Ethereum when they start making their offerings. And here we are with 2 additional banks that are doing the same thing. Now, what's unfortunate is that these banks are only starting with those. So what do I expect to happen? I expect these banks to get into the business, and I expect those banks to lose a lot of assets under management. Why? Because people will have their accounts deposited into, right? And they'll be sitting there with cash, and they'll say, great, I only need this cash for the month. I'm going to take the rest of this cash, flip it into a stable coin, send it over there so I can do whatever trades I want. Bye-bye assets under management. I think that'll be the first. Until they start adding additional coins and bringing additional features to their platforms, I think that's going to be the mode. The cool thing is that the way banks operate, you deposit your money, and as soon as you deposit, they're making money off your money. For however long they're holding your money, they're making money. Oh, you want to send that over there? Okay, go. Still, and you're depositing your money in there. Why do you care about banks? Hutanic, good morning. You woke up this morning and chose violence. He woke up this morning and straight up chose violence. The reason why I care about banks is because until we have more exchanges creating easier on-ramps, banks could very well become those on-ramps. So if I'm an exchange and I go out and I buy a small bank, what can I do? Oh, I can go internet and people can deposit their money into me directly as a bank. And because I'm tied to an exchange, I'd be able to trade almost immediately. Tell me that's not crazy. If I'm an exchange, I can have you deposit money, your paycheck, gifts, whatever. And as soon as cash hits your account, they immediately flip it to a stable coin where it's immediately staked. And so you are pulling down interest. There are a lot of reasons why that setup can actually work. So I'm looking at banks. I'm saying banks and exchanges are going to wind up being the same kind of companies with slight variances in the products and features that they offer. Kraken has taken things to the next level by saying, yeah, we can still get into that banking thing, but we're going to secure this stock trading thing first. Because we're an exchange. And what is a stock trading platform? It's an exchange. You got to give the hat tip, man. You got to give the hat tip. I'm still putting the fire out from last night from talking about banks, folks. Well, I hear you. But still, I think that's going to be the path. I think, like I said before, I think it's a lot easier for exchanges to become banks than it is for banks to become exchanges. And like I said, the pathway for banks to get into the space is Bitcoin, Ethereum, and stablecoins. That's the path. All these banks that are out there. Oh, I know you're messing with me. As far as I'm concerned, you already knew that you were in the corner, so I didn't think I had to say it. Okay, fine. You're in the corner. Just go to the corner. You chose violence. Go to the corner. So, again, when I look at banks, they're going to offer 3 things. Those 3 things: Bitcoin, Ethereum, stablecoins. That's nice. On the flip side, if Kraken goes out and buys a bank, they can offer 300 plus cryptos immediately. So they cut a deal with a bank overseas. What is it? Bunk bank overseas. And they're going to offer 300 cryptos to its 17 million account holders. If you can't become a bank in a certain area, get in bed with one. That's the path that crypto, that Kraken laid down. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. What else do we have? We've got G7 leaders. They're about to meet in Canada. And what's going to be on the plate? Artificial intelligence and the war that North Korea is waging against the world. Those are the two hot topics. Those are the two hot topics, and the world needs to start recognizing that North Korea is at war and something needs to be done about it. There you go. Just saying. There are things that we need to consider, and that's one of them. Come on, that's impossible. All right, all right, all right. Let's see. Got to refresh the screen. It's a pain in the tail. You know what we should do? We should go over the numbers. That's right. Let's go fix this. All right, all right, all right. You can see that Bitcoin is at 99,806 right now. 99,806. We'll get back to that. Right now, let's look at the markets. Yeah, 354 Dow futures are up, 59.50 for S&P futures, up 279 for NASDAQ futures. Oil is up 0.98, and US 10-year is up 0.035. Right? So I'm sitting there and I'm just kind of like, yeah, okay, I see you. I see you. Shopify's reporting. ConocoPhillips is reporting, McKesson, Brookfield, Monster Beverage. We have a lot of companies, Coinbase. We have a lot of companies that are reporting that we could be paying attention to. I'm paying attention to all of the retail-facing businesses. That's what I've been paying attention to in a major fashion. Then we had what we had yesterday. We had the FOMC meeting. We had consumer credit. Today we get initial jobless claims. We get initial jobless claims. By the way, do you realize that when you go to growmybag.tv and you become a bagger or a big bagger, you get access to about 8,500 articles? Just saying. Just saying. What I talk about in my shows, nine times out of 10, unless it's a topic we just brought up, it's an article already. Just saying, just putting it out there for you. Another resource. Fear and greed index is at 65. We dropped 2 points. We dropped 2 points. I bet you tomorrow it'll be up. I bet you tomorrow it'll be up a lot. DeFi Llama, we're at 109.797 in total value locked. We are so close to getting above 110. We are so close. I am paying attention to it. This is one of the things I like to do. I like to see what the volume is, on DEXs and stablecoins. To see where they're at. And that's amazing. Again, stablecoins just keep going up. Again, Tether just banged out 8 billion. So the question was, well, are they expecting things to go up? Ha ha. Ha ha. Just saying. So Bitcoin, looking at the big picture, look at that. Oh, does that look delicious or what? Technically, let me see that. Right there. We're just above. You see that? We're at 99,655. Actually, we're between 93,434 and 99,655. And we are above that by a hair right now. Ooh, I told you. You see that right there? Why did that happen? Because the market actually liked the fact that we didn't drop interest rates. This right here, the market right here proves that we didn't need an interest rate drop. We didn't need it. That is a very big deal. That's a very big deal because it says that Bill Ackman should go take many a seat, thinking about, his own pockets and nobody else's. Again, let's define enough. What else do we have? From here, we have to get just above. And then you can see how it can be an abrupt move above 109. It can be abrupt. The question is, what's the next catalyst? What's the next catalyst? The next catalyst could be a deal with China. But I want to tell you something about all these tariff deals. The current regime was in office previously. During that previous office, there was a tariff deal or a trade deal. China did not abide by it. So I'm looking at the teeth in the deal. For each specific deal, I'm looking at the teeth that's in it. So there's something to contemplate. What else do you have? On Coin 360, you can see all this wonderful green. Doesn't look beautiful. Link is fighting to get back above $15. Just saying, there are places here that you could have made big money. Look at Cardano above 70 cents. You really have to invest in yourself to be here right now in this moment, because if you didn't, you would be on the sidelines and you would be confused. Very rare opportunity. I thank God for it. That is exactly what Hutanik just wrote. Awesome. It's true. You must invest in yourself. I've been telling you guys for ages to invest in yourself. Do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. Absolutely invest deliberately. And then you might be enjoying this. Look at Ethereum trying to get to 2,000. Look at Ethereum trying to get to 2,000. You have a lot of stuff going on with Ethereum. A lot of stuff, and people are sleeping on it. But it's up 6%. Are you looking at some of these numbers? You could have been enjoying this. BNB was below 600 just a couple of days ago. This is what we're talking about when we say there are opportunities, and you should be paying attention to the opportunities that are out there. Again, I try to take a look at the 1 hour, 24 hour, 7 day, 30 day, 60 day, 90 day, year to date, because I want to understand the rhythm of coins. I want to understand the rhythm of specific coins so that when I'm looking at that coin and I think certain kind of news is going to hit, where are we in the rhythm of that coin and what kind of news is it? And how much impact is it going to have? What's the weight of that news? Because I'm trying to weigh how it's going to impact a given coin. This is why I invest in myself every day. One of the ways that I invest in myself every day, obviously I'm a big bagger, right? That's one. But something that I have access to that some people will have access to when they buy into the crypto tracker is going to be, they're going to be able to have access to the crypto tracker. We're the biggest losers right now. Let's see. Mantra is still down 5.6. It's not coming back. It's done. I have a bag of Mantra. It's done. I'm sucking it up as a loss. Will I sell it? Nope. I like having things. So when I take it on the chin like that, I leave it in my wallet. I leave it there. Not because I have hopes that it's going to come back, but as a reminder that I effed up. And in this case, I didn't F up. The company was doing everything right until it didn't. Until it didn't. That's a mighty lesson to learn. No joke. That is a mighty lesson to learn. Who's up? Pudgy Penguins. You know, Captain Banana was out there talking about, oh, yo, there's a coyote on my property. Give me 1 sec. Okay. Yeah. Because imagine if my dog was outside. Imagine if Stitch was outside. Sorry about that. Whew. Had to make sure he was gone. Yeah, Buddy Boy doesn't like that. He does not like that. But I think we have a family of coyotes that are around here, and they kind of don't do anything. They don't hurt anything. They're kind of just being. Still, if I'd have had Stitch outside, I'd be upset because he might be looking at Stitch. And he wasn't that much bigger than Stitch. Anyway, Captain Banana was talking to us about Pudgy Penguins, and she's been making money off of it. Captain Banana, I hope you freaking made out like a freaking bandit with this right now. It's up 27.75%, a GMB factor of GMB factor of 3.76. So think about this. It has a GMB factor of 3.76. That's far away from its all-time high. But if you've been paying attention, I told you I've been playing this. I've been playing the volatility. She told you she's been playing the volatility. She gave you a tip on, oh, I'm playing with Pudgy Penguins. And look what happened to Pudgy Penguins now. 27.75% up. Just saying. What else do we have that's up? Virtuals protocol. Yes, I have a little bit of a bag. And it's up 18.60%. It's got a GMB X factor of 2.13. If the market goes up, you're going to see a lot of meme coins, a lot of the popular meme coins take off. That's what you're going to see. But remember, they're also the harbinger of bad news. You can actually see them come down as well. So we've got Brett up 17.73%. It's got a GMB X factor of 2.71. That means there's room for growth. Let's see. I don't follow EOS. I don't follow PopCat. AI16Z is up 14.37% with a GMB X factor of 7.39. The actual company name is Eliza OS, and they're still not doing much. Athena is up 14.24% with a GMB X factor of 3.92. Again, room for growth. Aerodrome Finance up 13.6%, room for growth. GMB X factor of 2.36. Every coin on this list is above my 5% rule. There's DeepBook. There's Floki. Immutable is up. Radium is up. Who else do we have? Bitcoin Cash is up. I told you not to sleep on Bitcoin Cash. BCH is no joke. Sui is up. Look at, on a normal day, being up 11.85% with a GMB X factor of 0.41. Just saying. Just saying. Pepe is up. Even that coin is up. Dog with Hat is up. Aerodrome Finance, I still don't understand why they have business, but they're up. Just saying. Even if it doesn't work out, I found some genuine friends, which is more wealth. Dead serious. Dead serious. I count Hutanik as one of my friends. You know how I know he's a friend? Because we're not afraid of telling each other to STFU. Go look that up. I'm not going to say it. Anyway, folks, that's what we've got going on today. That's a lot of news. I'm expecting tonight. I'm expecting Lex Luthor to take a victory lap. I'm going to do more research on Bitcoin Magazine, on Bitcoin Horizon, and see if I add them to, my self-investment list. Those could be additional ones. So, Lex Luthor, again, hat tip to you, my man. I hope you have a good one, everybody. This is Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. If you like what I'm doing, do me a favor. Smash the like button. It really helps us get out there to more people. Definitely, if you can, become a big bagger. Go to growmybag.tv/sign-up. Become a big bagger. Get access to over 8,500 articles and videos as well. You get to participate in exclusive Big Bagger video conference calls, and our next one is coming up this Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we rip apart and talk about everything investment, from crypto to stock to business investment, all that. That's what we do. This is Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. I hope you have a good one. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. And always, thank you for your trust. Thank you for your trust. I try to earn that every day. That's why I get out here and I can say that I'm right or I'm wrong. So I woke up this morning. Actually, I rolled over in bed last night. Well, technically this morning. I think it was like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, Lex Luthor's right. Yeah. Because he said we got the bill number. Rick Ritchie was out there doing some research, and he got the bill number, and we looked it up, before I say goodbye. We looked it up. So I had the bill number, and I was like, I'm checking prices. Let me take a look at this bill. Let me take a little deeper of a look. The only difference is that they're not using new money. They're using money that was, either seized or unclaimed. That's what they're doing. Big difference. But still creates a reserve fund. Everybody, have a good one. Bye-bye.